So 2024 was an absolutely amazing year for gaming, at least I think it was. We got some absolutely incredible games that year. So I decided that I wanted to share my top 10 games of 2024. So let's get started. First, I want to give an honorable mention to Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 definitely would have been on this list if it was a full game. Since it's just a DLC, it doesn't exactly qualify to be on the list. But this chapter was amazing, a huge improvement over Chapter 1 and 2. I had an absolute blast playing it. Playing Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 were like some of my most fun streams I've ever had. And the game's actually pretty scary, which is a rare sight to see in the mascot horror genre. But now, let's get on to the top 10 list. So at the number 10 spot, we have Fears to Fathom Woodbury Getaway. So I love the Fears to Fathom games. I think they're absolutely incredible and some of my favorite horror games. Those games are really scary, some of the scariest horror games I've actually ever played. And this one's no different. Like, when it comes to me in games, I often want good gameplay and not just really simple gameplay in my games. Woodbury Getaway, it has pretty simple gameplay, but the horror makes up for it 100%. And the game isn't that long either, so the gameplay doesn't really matter that much. What makes the game fun is how scary and creepy it is. So yeah, don't really have much else to say about it. So let's move on to the number 9 spot. So at the number 9 spot, we have Finding Frankie. So this is a mascot horror game, of course, and as usual with mascot horror games, it's not exactly scary. I don't think it's scary. That's one thing I think it could improve on. I think it could have been scarier, but the gameplay definitely makes up for it, because the gameplay is really fun. I haven't seen a lot of like parkour horror games, so this game feels really unique to me, and yet the parkour in this game is super fun. As I said, the horror could have been better. Like, yeah, we have like a bunch of dead bodies scattered all over the place, but that isn't exactly scary, especially when all of the environments are like bright and colorful. And I do think this game also has a pretty good soundtrack, and I really like the character designs in this game. I think the characters are designed very well. But yeah, let's move over to the number 8 spot. So at number 8, we have Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit, which is the newest game in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. And I love FNAF, it's like my favorite franchise of all time probably. And this game might honestly be my favorite FNAF game. I just think the gameplay is really fun and I love the pixel art. I love how this game looks. I think it looks incredible. Also, this game does something that I don't think FNAF has done well in a long time, and that is how scary it is. Because this game is actually pretty creepy, because you never exactly know where Spring Bonnie is, so you could just go in another room and suddenly Spring Bonnie is there. Like, it's not the scariest horror game, far from it, but the scariness is an improvement over the recent FNAF games. And also, I love Spring Bonnie in this game. He's just incredible. He's an amazing antagonist in my opinion. And yeah, now let's move over to the number 7 spot. So at number 7, we have The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So this is the newest installment in the Legend of Zelda franchise. And I love the Zelda games. I think they're incredible, and this one's no different. Like, this is the first new top-down Zelda game we've had in a long time, and I think it's incredible. It's pretty unique from a lot of other Zelda games because you actually play as Zelda in this one and not Link. And one thing I really like that they did in this game is that they didn't make Zelda play just like Link. They made her playstyle very different. Like, she could use all these echoes and stuff, and I just thought that was so fun. I think the echo mechanic is really fun. Like, it's super fun to solve puzzles with it, fight enemies. Like, I just think it's really fun to just like figure out which echoes I have to use in certain situations. And also, it's a Zelda game, so it's of course fun. Most Zelda games are pretty good. Now, let's move over to the number 6 spot. So at number 6, we have Marvel Rivals. This is a pretty recent game, and I just think it's incredible. I love Marvel Rivals. Like, this is of course another hero shooter, but it's actually good. And I love Marvel, so combining Marvel with a really fun hero shooter is just perfect for me. I love this game. I can see myself playing this game for a long time. I don't think it's gonna die out anytime soon, because it's just way too fun to die out in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not gonna be talking too much about this game since I made a video on it like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So yeah, I'm just gonna be moving on to the number 5 spot. So at number 5, we have Sonic X Shadow Generations. And oh boy, this game is incredible. First of all, I love Sonic, so I was really excited for this game. So yeah, this game is like a remaster of Sonic Generations, plus an entire extra Shadow Generations campaign. And I gotta say, the Sonic Generations remaster was actually my first time playing Sonic Generations, so I can't really compare it to the original, but it was pretty fun, except for the Planet Wisp levels. Those absolutely suck. But other than that, I thought the game was fun. It didn't really have a great story. I thought the story was kind of bad, honestly, but the gameplay 100% made up for it. But now on the other hand, we have the Shadow Generations campaign, which is the main reason why I bought the game. Because I love Shadow, he's one of my favorite Sonic characters, if not my favorite. And honestly, let me tell you, the Shadow Generations campaign has been some of the most fun I've ever had playing a Sonic game. Because like, it's just so fun, and the story's actually good. Like, compared to Sonic Generations, the story is really good in this one. And the game controls amazingly. Like, I think Shadow controls really well in this game. And the level design is also really good in my opinion. I really like the levels. I think they might be some of the best designed Sonic levels in a long time. And the new Doom abilities are also really fun. I really like them, and they're a very welcome addition to the game. So yeah, Sonic X Shadow Generations is amazing. Maybe my favorite Sonic game of all time. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might be. But now, let's move over to number 4. So at the number 4 spot, we have Stellar Blade. And this game is honestly really fun. Like, it's kind of like a hack and slash game combined with an RPG. And I think it's really fun. Like, the combat is incredible. The combat is super fun. Might be one of the best combat systems I've seen in a game. Not 100% sure, can't think of much else that competes. And I thought the story was also pretty interesting in this. But the gameplay is definitely where this game shined the most. Like, the combat, I already said it, but the combat is so fun. It's so fun to do like different combos and stuff. And the boss fights in this game, oh boy! The boss fights are incredible. I love the boss fights. And the soundtrack as well. Like, the soundtrack is so amazing. A lot of the soundtracks on this list have been incredible. I just haven't mentioned it before now, but the soundtrack in this game is really, really good. Especially some of the boss fights. Some of the boss fights have like super good soundtracks. And yeah, now let's move over to number 3. So now we are in the top 3 games of 2024. The best of the best out there. At least I think they're the best. So coming at the number 3 spot of my favorite games of 2024 is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. My first exposure to the Final Fantasy franchise was the Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I'm a pretty new fan honestly, but I fell in love with that game. Final Fantasy VII Remake was such an amazing game, and I was so excited to play Rebirth. And let me just say, Rebirth blew my expectations out of the water. Like, I was already expecting a good game, but Rebirth was just so incredible. It has such an amazing story, the graphics are beautiful. A lot of the games on this list have had pretty good graphics, I just haven't mentioned it that much. And also the gameplay is really good. I kind of like how they mixed like real-time combat with also kind of like turn-based combat-ish mechanics. Like, it's not turn-based, but kind of like where you have to select some stuff to do like a certain move. I kind of like that honestly. And as I said, the gameplay is amazing. The story is amazing. The characters are on a whole other level. I love the characters in this game. They're absolutely amazing. Sephiroth is probably one of my favorite villains in fiction of all time. He's just such an amazing character, and the cast of this game is just, oh, they're incredible. They are absolutely incredible. I could be honestly talking about this game all day long, but I'm not going to. So let's just move over to the number 2 spot. So at the number 2 spot of my favorite games of 2024, we have Astro Bot. Now this game was a very pleasant surprise. I played Astro's Playroom when I first got my PS5, and I thought it was really fun. But it was of course just like a showcase to like show what the PS5 and the DualSense controller are capable of. So it wasn't very long, but still a really fun experience. But then a few years later, a magical moment happened. Astro Bot released. We got a full-on game. I know we've had some games like Astro Bot Rescue Mission for like the PSVR, but this is like the first full non-VR Astro Bot game, and I think it's amazing. This is probably one of the best platformers I've ever played. I just think this game is so fun, and it's oozing with just fun and personality, and it was an incredible experience. I wish I could just play this game for the first time again, because it was just such a good game. It was amazing. It was absolutely incredible. And the soundtrack in this game has also been really good. And the levels in this game are also amazing. I love the levels in this game. And all of the different bots you can rescue are just so fun. Like, a lot of them are just regular bots, but we also have a lot of them which are like characters from different video games, and not just PlayStation games, and also other games outside of PlayStation. And I think that's really cool. I thought it was so fun to just look for bots and just see like who they are. But yeah, Astrobot is such a fun game. It was actually my favorite game of 2024 for a long time, until I played what was at the #1 spot. So, my #1 most favorite game of 2024 is Silent Hill 2. Now, this is a remake of the original Silent Hill 2, which came out a long time ago on the PS2. And I've always wanted to play Silent Hill 2, but I've just never had the opportunity. And now that the remake came out and I heard the remake was really good, I thought I might as well try it. And it was incredible. I'm confident in saying that this is my favorite horror game of all time. It was just such an incredible game. Like, it's scary, which I think a horror game should be. This game was pretty scary. The gameplay was also really fun. It felt so satisfying to just kill these monsters, or whatever you call them. The puzzles are so fun. When it comes to games, I'm a bit iffy on puzzles. I love puzzles if they're done right, but if the puzzles are done wrong and just really confusing, I don't really like them that much. But Silent Hill 2 has some amazing puzzles. I don't like searching up the solution to puzzles, because I like figuring them out on my own. And with Silent Hill 2, I just had to search up one puzzle out of the entire game, because the puzzles are just so well made. Like, it's super easy to understand what you're supposed to do in these puzzles once you get the right item. Okay, I wouldn't say super easy, but it's easy enough. Like, it makes sense. The puzzles 100% make sense in this game. And that's what I like. I like when puzzles in video games make sense. I don't like when they don't make sense. And the story in this game was incredible. Like, this game is dark. This is a dark game. There are no happy moments in this game. This is not a happy game. If you want a happy game, do not play this. This is not a happy game. And the characters, dare I say, are some of the best characters I've seen in a video game. They just feel so real. Like, the writing of these characters are just so amazing. So yeah, Silent Hill 2 was incredible. My favorite horror game of all time. Maybe one of my favorite games of all time. And it was just an incredible experience to play through. So yeah, those were my top 10 favorite games of 2024. I know I made this a bit late. 2024 ended almost a month ago, but hey, better late than never, I guess. But now I want to know, what are some of your favorite games that came out in 2024? Let me know in the comments below. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!